I think I can officially say it. Welcome to Guanajuato. This is a city that has just so much history, so many museums, so many cool things to do, and I'm gonna share it all with you guys in the upcoming videos here from Guanajuato. I am just so excited. Like this has always been on my bucket list. Colorful buildings hidden in a valley with mountains and views and everything. It's gonna be absolutely spectacular. So let's go ahead and start exploring the beautiful city of Guanajuato. Well, first off of the day, we've come to one of the most interesting places here in Guanajuato. This is the Callejón del Beso, or the Street of the Kiss. And the story behind it is pretty interesting. So what happened is, apparently, there's like a Romeo and Juliet story that happened back in this little alleyway right behind me. And what happened is like they kissed one night, and it's become a tradition ever since then that you're supposed to kiss on this street. Now, what's really interesting is that they actually rent out guys and girls if you're coming here solo to kiss, because if you kiss on this street, you're supposed to have good luck for the next 6 to 7 years. But if you don't kiss, you won't have good luck. You'll have bad luck for the next 6 or 7 years. But it's a really nice and beautiful street. And you can literally see on the ground here, there are little dots for people to line up when they're getting ready to get their photo of the kiss over there. But it's kind of like a touristy gimmick, but it's also a really nice street, really little, like, beautiful little alleyway here in Guanajuato. There's a guy that will teach you about the legend and the story behind it, but honestly, it's just a nice place to come and visit. We've just arrived at the next stop here in Guanajuato. This is the Temple of San Roque. Well, the San Roque temple is actually pretty small. It's a pretty small temple. There's not really that much inside, but the best part to me is that once you leave the temple, on the other end of it, you get this incredible view right behind me, which is just filled with all the colorful houses that Guanajuato is famous for. And it's stunning. I mean, we've got blues, greens, pinks, yellows, whatever color you can imagine, it's right here, and it's absolutely incredible. There are literally just so many scenic places here in Guanajuato. Like, I mean, just look at this alleyway right here. It's so colorful, it's so beautiful, and it's incredible that this is everywhere in Guanajuato. Everywhere you look, you want to take a photo. You want to take photos, and you want to see everything. It's just beautiful here. There's all these little tiny alleyways. I'm walking down right now, one of the smallest ones I've seen, but it's so colorful. Red on one side, yellow and green on the other, but it's just absolutely stunning. But this road is going to take us to our next stop right here in Guanajuato, which is going to be that house museum of Diego Rivera, who is supposed to be one of the most important muralists in all of Mexico. Sure. Oh, sí, sí, muchas gracias. Well, that was a pretty cool museum. I mean, that's Diego Rivera's house. That's where he was born. They have a lot of artworks from him, but yeah, overall it's pretty cool. They have a lot of artwork. That's the most interesting part, but not only from Diego Rivera, but other artists as well. The first floor is the actual house, but other than that, it's just mostly artwork. Next stop right here usually is open. This is the University of Guanajuato. It's a very old university and it has this really beautiful staircase that goes all the way up to the top, to the entrance. And usually you'll be able to like go there and take photos and it's really nice. But today it's closed. Like they literally have like yellow tape that blocks anyone from coming off. And there's a police officer that looks at everyone very suspiciously. So not a good idea, but it is a really beautiful place. It's just closed today, unfortunately. Just down the street, we've made it to our next stop here in Guanajuato. This is the Temple de la Compañía. Well, the Temple of la Compañía, it's a really big church. I think that might actually be bigger than the main Basilica of Guanajuato, which we're gonna check out later. But it's like, you can tell it's a really old church. But it's really nice inside, really quite, not even that many people, which is it's really shocking because it could hold a lot more people. But really old, you get the old stone feeling to it, which I absolutely like about that temple. And literally just a block away is our next stop here in Guanajuato. This is the main attraction. This is probably one of the main things you have to see in Guanajuato. This is the Basilica of Guanajuato. The Basilica of Guanajuato is very old. The sign outside says that the original one was built in the 1600s. So that's a lot of years of history. But inside, the chandeliers are just absolutely incredible. They say that they have a statue of the Virgin of Guanajuato, which is housed inside this basilica. But it is the main basilica here in Guanajuato, so you can't really come here and miss it. And that red-yellow exterior is just really unique to this basilica here. But we're gonna move on and continue on. This is a really cool church that you should definitely check out when you're here. Right across from the basilica is another major structure here in Guanajuato. This is Teatro Juárez, which is basically the main theater of Guanajuato. Now, to go in, you actually have to like pay for a show. I think you have to actually watch something, so you can't just go in for free. But the outside is really incredible. You can see the pillars at the front and the statues on the top. There's so many beautiful statues. The staircase up is also absolutely stunning. But it's another one of those icons here in Guanajuato that you can't miss. It's one of the symbols basically of this city, and it's just incredible to come and see it in person. Right next to the Juarez Theater is again another temple here in Guanajuato. This is Temple of San Diego. Well, after seeing so many temples and churches, I'm kind of churched out. Like it was good, but like I've seen so many today, I'm kind of done with churches. Let's go find something that's not church related. We've made it to our next stop, but this line is insane. It'll probably be about an hour's long wait, but you know what? We'll do it. Yeah.
119. ¿No traes 19 pesos?
No,
¿Nada?
no.
Este para tu cámara
Muchas gracias.
y este tu entrada ya.
Muchas gracias.
¿Tiene nada?
Well, we've got our ticket. It's 88 pesos per person to enter, so actually quite expensive for a museum. But this is the Museum of the Mummies in Guanajuato. That's probably one of the creepiest museums you're ever gonna see in the world. They literally have a bunch of mummies that are super well preserved, and they've even got like little babies that are buried. What's unique about Guanajuato is that when they buried these people, they were buried in these crypts, and in the crypts there was no oxygen and no humidity. So it preserved the skin of these dead individuals very, very well. And it was like almost like 7 or 8 years after they'd been buried, they would get dug up and they would see it was completely preserved, and it's really, really creepy because you can see their facial features as they died, their expressions, but it's really, really creepy. I don't know why so many people brought kids in there, because that is not something you want to be showing kids, because it is very morbid, it's very dark. They even got babies. They have the smallest mummy in the world in there. So it's pretty morbid, but absolutely worth it. I mean, for the price of what, like 88 pesos, it's really, really worth it to go and check out. You can't find this anywhere else in the world, so really, really interesting. Well, after a little bit of flying the drone and crashing the drone, we've made it to our next stop, and this is a pretty important stop. This is Hidalgo Market in Guanajuato. This is a massive market. It's 2 floors. The first floor you've got a lot of other stuff, but most importantly food. The second floor is actually a lot smaller. It's just actually around the area, but a lot of tourist sort of things like bags and souvenirs and stuff like that. Really, really touristy on the second floor, but the food on the first floor looks amazing. So if you're looking for food basically any time of the day, I think downstairs would be a great option for food. But it is a market. It's housed in this like huge structure, and I absolutely love that. But I'm sure it's been around for many, many years, and it's the market for the people that live here in Guanajuato. Hola, un boleto viaje sencillo, solo sencillo. Gracias. If there's one thing you have to do here in Guanajuato, It's to take the funicular. It takes you up to the top, and it's only 30 pesos, so it's not even that much, but we're about to go on. I'm pretty excited about this. Gracias. Just got our ticket torn off. We're about to get on the funicular. I'm pretty excited. It looks like a short ride, but should be a fun one. Well, we have finally made it here to the top. This is an absolutely amazing view. That is the Monumento Al Pipilar. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is what you really come for. This is an absolutely exceptional view that gives you basically a mental map of the entire city of Guanajuato. Well, I really wanted to stay up there longer, fly my drone and film more, but just when I wanted to do all that, it's raining! Welcome to Mexican rainy season, but Guanajuato does not escape the Mexican rain. But anyways, I can't stay for sunset because literally it's pouring down right now, so I'm rushing down back into the city of Guanajuato. Guanajuato is a beautiful city. I think there's so much to see here, so many narrow, beautiful streets, so many churches, so many old sites around. Now, of course, the thing is that it is a little bit touristy. There are tons and tons of tourists, both domestic and international tourists who come here. So it's a pretty touristy destination, but I would say that overall it's pretty worth the experience. It is, you know, a UNESCO heritage site. It has a lot of history, a lot of beautiful places to see around here. And we're gonna be here for one more day, so it's gonna be absolutely amazing. But that's gonna be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, definitely give it a thumbs up, especially for the rain and Mexican rainy season. And I'll see you guys on the next video. It's gonna be amazing here in Guanajuato, so I'll see you guys soon. Bye guys.